Hello?
Yo, what's good?
What's up?
Why am I so mad about this? I'm genuinely irritated, bro. Like, I am, like, for the last, like, I'd say 48 hours, this has been top of my, I had Valentine's Day with my girl. I should be happy. I got high as shit last night. I haven't smoked weed in like 6 months. It was great. We had Valentine's Day. It was beautiful. It's exactly what I wanted. We had great food. Yet, this is the topic that's top of mind for me. The whole time I couldn't stop thinking about it. I was like, oh my god, this pisses me off so fucking much. And it shouldn't piss me off that much.
It shouldn't.
There's a few reasons it shouldn't piss me off. One, I hate wobbling. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
actually don't like it. Like, there's no part of me that thinks it's a good mechanic. It's a fucking shit mechanic.
It is.
But the thing that I think the thing that pisses me off about it is I hate it, but I can't bring myself and my bones to say we should ban it. And that's, I think, the thing that pisses me off the most. Is like, the way it's getting banned to me is the biggest trash of all time, and it goes against everything we worked for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, you know what it's going to be. No, it's not. We're not going to get uniformity around this. This is going to be like another split. And I think I'm the only person who cares about uniformity, dude. I think, Kalini, should I just stop? Should I just quit wanting events to have similar rule sets? Is it, at this point, should I just like not care anymore? Because that's possible.
And probably. I mean, like, because what's the issue with the way they're doing this ban? Like, doing Twitter polls and shit like that? What's to stop a future ban of something? Do you know that someone came in my chat yesterday, not yesterday, 2 days ago, and said they gave me a whole ass Reddit thread on banning crouch rest, and I was
What's
like,
wrong with these people?
I was like, are you high?
Stop trying to grab a puff that's fucking crouching. How about make that your solution?
I'm dead serious.
Ban yourself from being an idiot.
No,
Maybe
an entire thread with that was Okami. All right, someone in my chat is saying that was Okami.
Come on, Okami.
That makes me sad. There was an entire thread with data about crouch arrest, and I was like, "Are you I like couldn't even read it. I didn't know that was Okami. I was kind of mean to him, and now I feel bad. But regardless, I still think that opinion is shit.
And by the way, UCF bans already. It not bans. It nerfs ICs already, like pretty significantly. It's a pretty significant nerf to that. Before, you miss a dash back, you get wobbled. Now you don't. It helps your execution. Anything that helps your execution nerfs ice climbers. And I don't know. So like, here's the argument has been the same one for the last fucking decade. And to me, I think life is too short to spend thinking about this issue at this point. For me, like, I've probably spent hundreds of hours at this point debating this topic over a decade. And my opinion hasn't changed for so long because at this point I feel like we've talked it all out for a while. Here's the thing, right? ICs, their matchups against Peach,
Puff and
Samus, like those matchups without wobbling.
No, it's over.
It's unwinnable. It's unwinnable. Over. It's not done. Like slightly we can adjust. No, it's fucking unwinnable. Yeah. Anyone who says anything else is lying to you. It's unwinnable territory.
So this is where it gets tilting for me. Is I see tweets from like Hugo and stuff like that saying like they don't mention that part. They're just trying to say don't ban wobbling, and I think it's because they want to keep justifying their wins on ICs.
Yeah, I mean that's what I get mad about. Hugo's going to win against every ICs now, right?
Yeah, and no one's going to care.
It should be noted, like who are the people who started this mission, right? It was what, like Axe, Plup, Mewtwo King has no reason to be complaining about his ice climber losses. He's trash at the matchup. He's worse than me at it. Literally, take a smasher off the street, random person in the venue. They're better against ice climbers than Mewtwo King.
This is why I have never been vocal about wobbling or banning wobbling, because I suck against ICs. And that's fine. Like wobbling isn't the issue.
Don't ban away your problems. Learn how to forward air, Mewtwo King. How about that? Maybe learn how to down tilt every once in a while. It's like, come on now.
But it's
not like it's not possible that other guys do it.
There are players that are extremely good against ice climbers, though, that also support the ban.
Sure, but who started it, right? Axe?
Yeah.
His
Who started
character's
it? Who started it? Yeah.
Axe's character is horrible against ice climbers. That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
One of Pikachu's worst matchups, and he tends to lose Ices.
Mm-hmm.
Flup's lost to Bananas before. He's not like got an impeccable record against Ices. And Mewtwo is just trash against ice climbers.
Yeah.
Right?
So
like,
you're tilted at how it started.
I'm tilted at how it started. I think
see.
these guys, I'm not trying to accuse them of ulterior motives because truth is that wobbling is whack as fuck.
No, it is.
So it's hard to say like, hey, these guys have ulterior motives. But it is interesting that the people who benefit the most from making ice climbers unviable are also the ones. Like if you actually look at the top 20 list, the most vocal people are the people with the worst records against ice climbers. Right? Mm-hmm. Like literally, it's funny how that works out, right? So I don't know, man. Like it's one of those things that it's just gonna be whack for a while. Like I don't like how it went down. I like a consistent rule set, but I should probably stop caring about that. Like I think Smash. Like okay, real talk. Do Smashers actually want it? Like I think there is a large portion of the Smash community that
large. Like if we
wants every tournament to be different. They just want every tournament. They don't care.
Right. Like I don't think wobbling is a good mechanic either.
Yeah,
and like
it's not.
It's objectively not.
It's trash mechanic. It's one of the worst things about Melee. It's probably like a top 3 bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to argue that it's not. It's a good mechanic. It's trash.
No.
Game would the game be better without it? I want to say yes, but at the same time, we also just wouldn't have an entire character. Because I think honestly, the matchups against the super floaties go to like really bad, and even matchups that aren't even super floaty, like against Marth, for example. Dude, Marth just has a DI up against down throw down air. Like he doesn't even need a smash DI. Like he's out against non-wobbling. That matchup's already pretty bad in my opinion. I think Marth wins pretty hard now. Nintendo thinks it's the worst matchup for ice climbers. He thinks Marth's even worse than Pete. I don't know about all that, but
yeah.
Point is that you take out wobbling and it's like, dude, this is free. This is like I don't.
Yeah, no, it becomes a joke at that point.
It's a joke. There's
my day one Peach might be able to beat Ices now.
There's people out there who literally make the claim that ice climbers without wobbling is still better than Pikachu and Yoshi, which is ridiculous because I think Pikachu is much better than ice climbers even with wobbling. But I think without wobbling, it's ridiculous. Like I think Luigi might be a better character. You know, like what are they talking about? This is huge, and I do think there's a lot of stuff you can do. I think definitely there's, you know, the fast follower matchups. There's more you can do. You know,
I don't know like grab setups or anything or what Ices do without wobbling. I always assumed that like Ices can kill like Fox or Falco or like Spaceys without wobbling. Period. Because like I came in the game when wobbling got unbanned. I came in as soon as wobbling got unbanned.
I'd say, okay. Especially the way people play now, a lot of Spaceys would still get killed.
Yeah,
but that's not necessarily would be true for. So okay, what they do against Falcon is they do the down throw down air, but they do it on opposite sides to mix it up. That's a mix up. It's fine. Sometimes they do that to Spaceys too. There's a good tech chase that's decent. There's the up smash to regrab. As you've seen before, like there's a few things for sure. And truth is, there's like, you know, you can go into the whole debate about what is wobbling, what about blizzobbling and all that crap. That's for sure true. But there's also the fact that against like Peach, you don't got shit. You got nothing. There's no mix up. There's nothing. People are talking about, oh, they're gonna do all these cool new things. I'm like, no, they're not. We know this stuff by now. They're gonna do grab into smash attack because they can't do anything else, and they're gonna lose. They're gonna get restocked every time.
Yeah. So like, have you heard Leffen's proposal?
What was his proposal?
So Leffen said ban wobbling except against Puff, Peach, and Samus. And so originally I was like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. But if that's the case, then you might as well just leave it like unbanned, I guess.
I mean, I think like making a rule set which literally, because that at that point that's genuinely favoring some characters over others, right?
Right. It's a little unfair.
You're saying it's pretty unfair to say only Peach has to deal with a death grab, or only that like, and then the other characters don't because we feel sorry for them. At that point, I'm like, you know what? There's something about this maybe I like because why the fuck doesn't Roy get FD? You know, why doesn't Pichu get FD?
What's
we
up,
we
Avery? Ginger said Ices can't grab Peach already.
ISIS can't grab. Yeah. So like
Matchup
we
shit.
already we already like if we're thinking about okay, we want to make even out the matchups with our rule sets, then let Roy have FD, let DK have FD. They get banned in best of threes every time,
Yeah,
right? They
yeah,
never
yeah.
make it to best of five.
Yeah.
So like if we're talking about evening out matchups, which I think is like a pretty hard thing to do and probably not a goal you should make, then there's other ways to do it, and I don't think people like the other ways. So
Yeah.
like so I don't know, man. So I guess like I shouldn't be as irritated about this as I am because I genuinely don't like wobbling. I think it's a trash mechanic, but I don't like how it went down. I don't like the fact that we frankly had a universal rule set for like a good amount of time. It was good work, man. People fucking followed it, and then someone makes a goddamn tweet, and someone makes one video. It's top player influence, and everyone's bending over backwards. It's like, dude, why? Like, why, man? Are we really that weak?
Yeah. We're definitely tilted by different reasons.
I'm tilted, man. I'm super tilted.
I get why you're tilted. Like I understand like the way it went down was kind of iffy.
The logic has always been trash too. That people say, "Oh, it hurts viewership." Literally no data whatsoever. People say that about Puff too. I'm like, what are you talking about? No, it's just a bunch of fucking spacey mains and fast forward mains complaining about not liking want to Puff, and occasionally some floating mains too. But there's been no data. The largest peaks we've ever had have included Hungry Bucks in the grand finals. That's a fact, right? Evo 2016, this Genesis, Hungry Bucks as well. So, viewership goes fine.
The only viewership data I know, or from what I've heard, is when Mango loses to HBox, and like I don't know if that's because Mango lost or Puff won.
Generally, when Mango goes out of the bracket, you have a baby dip, but that's just Mango.
It wasn't like that for Genesis. Like Genesis numbers just kept going up.
It just kept going up. Like I don't know. And that Grands was amazing at Genesis. Like some of the best grand finals have included Hungry Bucks. Evo 2016 also had an amazing grand finals, and it included Hungry Bucks. And yes, Act vs Hungry Bucks was fucking hype as shit. I liked the whole thing. I was watching the whole time. You know, like I don't know. There's literally no data around the Puff thing, and there's no data that ICs also make viewership less. I'm the dude who has the data. And I'm telling you, I don't know what the fuck people are talking about. There's been no correlation that I've ever seen around wobbling or not. I bet Gommel gets its numbers. Like it'll be the same. It'll be the same fucking thing. You guys highly like. There's the vocal people who care about this shit a lot, but like the 90% of people who watch are just random Twitch people who are just coming into a stream. They don't even know what's going on, man. They literally don't know what's going on. So unless the commentators are like shitting on a mechanic really hard and giving it their attention, like I don't think most viewers even know.
Well, I think it has top player influence. Like, I was in my hotel watching Genesis, like, the day before, or, like, before I had to play. And on the side stream, there was, like, a bunch of wobblers, and, like, the chat was just being, like, this is dumb. Why is this on stream? Wobbling is dumb, blah, blah, blah. So I think it definitely does affect viewership in a way.
I don't know. Those people are still typing in chat. But here's one thing I would say.
So they're still watching.
You know,
they're not leaving.
People who write in chat are like the top like 5% of people, right? Like they're not most of the viewers. Chat is not indicative of very much at all. So what's indicative is that viewer count. If the viewer count's not going down, then what is there to say that people really dislike? Now, I'm saying that while admitting that I think ICs without wobbling was more fun to watch for me. Right? Like, I think what Fly's era was more fun to watch. But was it fun to watch Fly get literally shit on by any, like, Peach he ran into? Was that fun? I don't know. Like,
probably. I think so. I mean, but I'm on the side of, like, it's fun watching Ice Climbers get shot on. Hold on, I'm reading what Ginger said. He said, are you reading the chat by any chance?
I wasn't. He said, there's something valuable in how you present your game, I think. The viewers who you're trying to get into melee or the people who are playing your game get wobbled don't enjoy it. Doesn't mean they don't enjoy it enough to leave the stream. Maybe the people on the fence entering the game might not now. Maybe, Ginger. Maybe, man. But you're talking about banning an entire character off a feeling, which is what it sounds. And that's fine. Look, if people just were honest with themselves and stopped talking about viewership They stopped talking about how, like, hey, we're not doing this to nerf ICs, all this bullshit. No. This effectively nerfs ICs. You're crazy if you don't think that. And the reason you're doing it is because deep in your core values, you think this is a degenerate part of Melee, and you want to ban the parts that you don't like. If that's the honest reasoning, then that's at least to me more honest because and more fair. But all this other bullshit needs to go. Dude, you're saying not banning a character? Ginger, get the fuck out of here. If you don't think this nerfs this character into the ground, you're insane. This nerfs this character into the ground.
Oh,
he's KJH, am I lying? Does this not nerf the character into the ground?
No, I don't think it like, dude, I think ICs are gonna be still fine against like Spacey's Falcon.
Yeah,
and I
they're
think
gonna have like 4 unwinnables.
I think they'll
have like 4 unwinnable matchups. Like
I think they'll figure shit out. I think they will figure shit out against other characters. Granted, I think Puff and Peach will still be shit, and like even it's already so bad. It's already so bad. Wobbling or not,
bad.
It's so bad. I literally watched like Chew get timed out by this Puff I've never even heard of, and Army lost to like some Puff I've never heard of.
Here's the thing. You think those Puffs and those Peaches and whoever are going to go easy on the ICs now? Are they not going to time them out?
No,
they're still going to do that. These poor ice climbers are going to get timed out.
Now, that's the part I don't care about. I don't care. Poor ice climbers, I'm never going to say that. I could care less.
See, Kalini, that's because you don't have empathy here. I care about that.
I don't.
I would consider quitting the game if I was them. If I like,
who's going to miss you?
Me! I want venue fees, bitch! Like, I care about these things. What are you talking about? Yeah, let's make the scene smaller. I don't want to make the scene smaller.
Dude, it's for the greater good. You take
the greater good.
You take one small sacrifice.
No, it's not a small sacrifice. It's not a small sacrifice. And that goes to the point of why people say, hey, if the majority want it.
No, I get you, man.
It hits the minority so hard, it hits them way harder than it hits the majority.
I know.
If you've practiced ICs for 5 years and now you're like, oh shit, this character I played now has like 4 unwinnable matchups, which were already borderline unwinnable to begin with.
I don't know what you mean.
That's terrible.
Practice? Ginger, get in the Discord call.
It's not fair.
I mean, no, I get what you mean. All right, a part of me feels bad. I try and talk to this part of me. It's just like, dude, you're kind of being a dick. Like, yeah, like ice climbers didn't put in the same amount of work or the same type of work you did, but they still put in some type of work, and it's gonna hurt them. But then it's like the other part of me is just like, dude, like who cares? Like I don't care.
Dude, if they did this to your character, you would be furious. Think about it. If they did
yeah, I've seen like some random shit like, oh, we gotta ban like Fox's Shine, like shut.
Yeah, and when those ideas come up, you're like, this is dumb as fuck. And here's the thing, Shine is way cooler than Wobbling, and Wobbling is genuinely degenerate, and I don't like it. Right? However, let's pick a option that is degenerate with other characters. And what people would think in those scenarios, right?
Yeah.
It's not the only degen thing in Melee, right? Yeah, it's not.
No, so like, I completely agree that the way this whole thing started was kind of whack.
Yeah.
Like, because it sparked, like, other ban proposals, like banning crouch arrest. Like, what the actual fuck? Like,
Tuesday saying he just heard you tell him that you wouldn't miss him if he quit.
No,
See that?
See, no.
See that?
See, I just talked about this before we started streaming. So I use an example of someone in my scene, in the Michigan scene. I4N, he's a good person. I consider him a friend, and like he's just a great person. I have nothing wrong with him. He plays Puff. He quit going to tournaments maybe a few months ago, and I was like, damn, do I miss playing Ian or watching him play? And the answer is no. I like him as a person, but like me personally, I don't miss it.
Yeah, I want that guy in the scene, man. That's a venue fee every time. We take those. The fuck you think that? Where do you think we are as a community? Like, what are we talking about here? Losing players? That's like we're gonna start banning. Like, okay, not banning a character, but taking people's nerfing a character into the ground, you're gonna potentially lose players, and I think that's a genuine possibility.
What if you potentially gain players?
I doubt it. I think the people who aren't playing Melee because of Ice Climbers wobbling, what is that number?
I don't know.
Who the fuck? Have you ever met someone like that?
Maybe. I've seen it in Twitch chat and Reddit, but I don't think those people have ever been
those
to
people don't go to tournaments.
Yeah.
Most people don't go to tournaments. And if they do, someone would slap them upside the head and be like, your character destroys Ice Climbers. They're not very good.
Yeah, I'm kind of like what Tuesday's saying, where he said he still has like faith in Ices. I do think Ices can figure shit out.
Against some characters. I do not think they can figure shit out against Peach.
Even if it's just Peach, whatever, fine. If they can't figure it out against Peach, then so be it.
But it's not just Peach. There's also Puff. Dude, that matchup without wobbling is trash. It's already trash with wobbling.
It is trash. I mean, like, the only thing that's going to change is the wins are going to not count as much. Or they're going to seem like they're not going to count as much. Or Mewtwo King's going to win. That's probably going to be the only difference. Is Mewtwo King's going to start winning.
I think Mewtwo King's still going to lose to these fucking ICs. He's so bad.
Hilarious.
I think he's going to lose to them with or without wobbling. It's going to be fucking fun.
This is literally only going to, like, buff Mewtwo King.
It's going to coincidentally buff Mewtwo King, Plup, and Axe. Very coincidentally going to buff them considerably. I think Axe will start beating Ice Climbers. Like, that might happen. I mean, they're still down throw chain grabbing.
Yeah,
it's still pretty bad.
No, I feel like Ices can still, like, beat Pikachu.
Yeah, they still win the matchup even without wobbling, I think.
Yeah.
But it's a lot easier.
Like, you think Lod isn't going to beat, like, an Icy's ass any harder with wobbling or without wobbling?
Dude, I think, hey, man, Chu took games off Armada with wobbling on. Do I think he takes those games without wobbling? Hell to the fucking no. Like, I think, okay, it's pretty much an unwinnable matchup as it is. I think it goes from unwinnable to, like, if you don't have a secondary, you're fucking up. Actually, it's already kind of there, but I don't think, maybe Puff isn't. Maybe a few of the others aren't, like, aren't, but it's, ICs are just so bad. Dude, maybe I think ICs are worse than other people do, but I genuinely
think that's probably what it is.
I think they're not very good.
They might not be.
Where do you have them on your tier list right now?
What? Where are they? It's like I just have to put in order like Samus, Ices, and Yoshi, or is it another character?
Do you have Pikachu above all that? I assume.
Oh, actually, I don't know.
Okay, so you have them at 9th or 10th based on
something. I've never made a tier list.
Yeah, I think general consensus is
I think Yoshi's is better. I think Yoshi's better. I think Samus is probably better than Ices. Even
okay, then you have an 11 based on that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think they're that good.
They're pretty bad. I think with wobbling, they're much higher. But they're still pretty bad with or without it. That is the truth. But without it, I think they have to be a secondary character almost.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So I don't know, man. I don't even know what this is in reaction to. They did horrible at Genesis.
I mean, I lost the one, but I also beat one. But they did do pretty bad at Genesis. Oh, no. Mewtwo King lost to Ices. Mewtwo King lost to Bananas.
He should lose. He should though.
Yeah, I was wondering why this got a reaction too, because none of the top players outside of me and I guess Mewtwo King lost to Ices at that tournament. They all got upset. They all got upset.
If he doesn't lose to Ices, there's no justice in this world. No one should be that bad at a matchup and expect to win.
That's pretty funny.
Come on. Their placing is not a part of this argument. Okay, Blantisi, but here's the thing. I think maybe it's not a part of the argument, as you say, but it does at least signify those people who do say it affects viewership, it affects, like the top level meta, all this stuff. When they're not doing well, how the hell can they affect viewership? They're not even on stream. When they're not doing well, the top level meta, they're not in the top level meta.
Yeah.
So, like, what's the argument? If the argument is that it's not cool and we don't like it, then, I mean, what can I say? It isn't cool, and I don't like it. So, like, at that point, I'm like, that's honest. But I see a whole lot of bullshit arguments out there. If that, like, and maybe that's an okay argument. Do you think rule sets should be just based on what we want the game to be? If that's truly what people are going for, then maybe they're fucking right. I don't know.
Well, like, wobbling is, like, the only glaring mechanic, like, outside of obvious stage bans that probably shouldn't have been in Melee to begin with, in competitive Melee. I can't think of, like, anything even close to wobbling that's that drastic outside of different stages. Or, like, maybe, like, puff camping. But like I don't care.
We can't do anything about puff camping.
Yeah, I don't care.
People talk about ledge grab limit, but you and I both know that won't affect shit. Like she can actually grab the ledge like what 20 times in the whole game, and then still camp you to death. Like she just has too many jumps, man. What are you gonna do? Like we would have to mod the game to make your aerial mobility less. Like that's the levels of what we'd have to do to change puff. So I don't have a great answer for her. Wobbling, like we don't have to mod the game to fix. I don't think. I know there's a lot of people out there who
removed it from like someone modded the game and removed wobbling. That was fucking hilarious.
I mean, there's people out there who are like, oh, how do we enforce it? What about blizzwobbling? All that stuff. I don't get as serious about that because there was some tournaments who had wobbling ban and it just worked. So like, I don't think that's a great anti-wobbling argument. I think the best anti-wobbling argument is that this nerfs the character to the ground.
What about what's your opinion on like newcomers? So you say you want to keep like the wobblers in the scene. What about like the people who go to their very first Melee tournament and just get like wobbled? And it's just like
those
what?
People, this goes back to the way we run our tournaments. Someone who knows how to wobble probably shouldn't be in the same skill bracket as someone who's brand new.
No. Because you can know how to wobble and be a complete shitter.
Also,
like, it's not hard.
Can we put a note out to the ice climbers out there that don't wobble new players? Just be a nice guy.
Like I think that makes more sense, but like I'm not like literally
just like social engineering. Be like, hey guys, we won't ban wobbling as long as you stop being dicks and like.
No, but because that still doesn't help like low level. Because 2 low level players can meet in tournament, and it can be the other low level players' first tournament. And they just get wobbled. Like, they both don't know what they're doing. But, like, they know this guy knows how to press A over and over again.
What noobs know how to wobble?
Dude, have you seen,
Are you talking about noobity noobs? Are you talking about mid-level players?
A week playing the game.
Well, get fucked. It's true. It's wobbling is pretty easy.
Yeah. So, like, ignoring, like, hurting viewership, like... I don't know a way to justify a ban like no wobbling until top 32 or stuff like that. But at the low level, it's hella degenerate.
Can I interrupt you real quick? People are saying, Fleur, have you been to a tournament since 2016? Fleur, you don't compete with all this shit. Bro, guys, I go to more tournaments than all of you fucking combined. What are these people talking about? I'm everywhere. What the hell are you talking about? Yes, day one wobblers, I'll admit, I haven't seen 2 noobs fighting in the day one wobbler, and that does suck. And that's a fine art. I don't think it's one of those things like I don't like wobbling, and I agree that stuff sucks. Mm-hmm. I can't argue against what you're saying there. That's fine. If we're saying that it's terrible at the low level and therefore we're gonna ban a character from the top level, okay, I guess. I don't know. I didn't know. No, the rest of our rules set doesn't seem to be made for the low level.
Yeah.
But in this one, I guess we're trying to do it.
I don't know. I need like I wish there was someone in chat who got wobbled their first tournament and just never went to a Melee tournament again. But if that were the case, they wouldn't be in my stream. So we never know.
And here's the thing, like where I feel like I'm close to just giving up on Smash rule sets, is people get so goddamn vile about them. There's like Smash players, like there's like maybe 2 or 3 issues in the entire world that will get them up in arms. Like they will actually march on Wall Street. Like they will sit down and do it. And rule sets is one of them. Like the people will actually care so much about this. And the truth is I care, but I don't care that much because I've lived in worlds with or without wobbling, and I feel sad for the ice climbers when it's not there, but I feel sad for the rest of us when it is there. So like it is one of those things where my amount of care isn't probably as much as it should be, but people care so much. People care so much, and I think what happens when they care about something this much is they're gonna convince their local TOs to do it their way, and we're gonna have a split community, and maybe that's what people want, right? Because at the end of the day, they go to their locals or they're one major, and they get what they want in that local. Like that's good enough for them.
I don't think the community was split that the split would be that drastic.
Do you think every tournament's gonna ban wobbling?
I could see it. So Gamo banned it. I could see Juggle guys just like grinning and like ready to drop the hammer. And it's like if those tournaments show like quote unquote success, then like I can see other tournaments adopting it. Or if there's backlash, then like people would be like, no, let's just.
I never accused Gamo of this, but I mean, you know how it is, right? Like, it is for TOs. It's so hard to stand out nowadays. There's so many fucking tournaments, and it's hard enough to get people. Rule set changes are some of the most opportunistic things you can do to like get people, right? Like you put something like that out, and all of a sudden your chance of getting Mutant King Axe, whoever, go up.
That's
right?
True. That is true.
In general, rule set changes are like a good little thing that you can do to jab at people. Be like, hey, yeah, this is come to my tournament. And even if the rule set change doesn't like help you get the majority of players, it will get the people who are really passionate about it. You know what I mean? So Mutant King will want to support a tournament that doesn't have wobbling because that's what he wants to see in the game, right? So he'll do that or something. But you know what's going to happen, right? With this sort of system,
what?
You have someone like Mutant King going out there on Twitter being like, "I'm not going to go to a tournament that doesn't have wobbling man."
Yeah.
Is that the scene we want? Like it's just
that kind of happened. That kind of happened with Armada and Leffen. They're like, we don't want to go to tournaments that don't have UCF or Arduinos. And now every tournament has UCF or Arduinos.
It's just bully ball, right? Now, I do think that they did. I mean, we did that Arduino shit pretty independently of all that stuff. But I do say, yeah, it's just top players exerting influence to decide rule sets and TOs being opportunistic, jumping on it. That's what's happening. I don't like the process, but we made a fucking process and no one gives a shit. So what am I supposed to do? People actually just want tournaments to not be have consistent rules, and there's been nothing in the last 14 years that would indicate that people actually care enough about a consistent rule set that they're willing to actually bite their lip and not take the opportunistic role, or host tournaments that aren't maybe their own personal favorite rule set, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's complicated. What about a limit? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know what the answer is, boy. Quite frankly, I don't care either. Like I don't care like what the answer is going to be.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing. I have maybe the reason I don't care very much is because at this point I'm like, look, you give people the tools, and if they decide they want to run tournaments their own fucking way, God bless, right? Because what does me caring even do at this point? Because all it does is make me mad. Because the truth is that this community hasn't been able to have a consistent rule set for 15 fucking years. We barely had one last year. Where pretty much every tournament ran the same thing, especially since UCF and Arduino's like if you don't consider that consistent, whatever, they're like close enough.
Yeah.
It was largely consistent. Everyone ran the same shit, and now we're fucking fracturing again because it's all it takes is one tweet, one fucking Plank saying something on his Twitch for us to decide, nah, actually, having us be split again sounds like a dope idea. And you know what? Again, I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing. I think
experimenting is okay. Like, what Gamo's doing is like, let's see how this goes. Let's ban it. See how it goes. I think it's just one tournament. That's fine. Like,
here's the thing. Everyone keeps saying experimenting shit. Everyone says I actually disagree with you.
Really?
I think experimenting is okay when there's something you're going to learn. I think we're going to learn nothing. We've ran non-wobbling tournaments for a lot of events. I'm not going to learn anything from this. What am I going to learn? Like, I'm not going to learn anything from Gamo's results. Like, it means nothing.
We haven't ran a non-wobbling tournament since when, though?
Sure, but am I going to start thinking, oh yeah, ICs are better against Peach without wobbling? Am I going to see data that makes me feel that way? No. What are we testing for?
Big House 4 was the last one.
What are we actually testing for?
I just want to say that Big House 4 was sick. Every match at Big House 4 was sick. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that has anything to do with the fact that wobbling was banned, but I'm just saying Big House 4 was a nasty tournament. I know you know. I
don't think a wobbling ban or unban there would have changed Big House 4 very much.
Yeah, I know. But that was what, like five years ago?
Sure. But like, okay, explain to me. Experiments are valuable, right? But experiments are only like, if you just look at the scientific method, right?
Mm-hmm.
You do a control group and you do your experimental group and you're trying to learn something. What are we trying to learn with this experiment? What is the learning here?
I don't know. It could be viewership.
No, because we don't know what Gomel 2019 would have gotten with or without it. And we've also have so much data on non-wobbling and wobbling tournaments, and it hasn't made almost any difference.
Like I said, I don't know if ICs are going to go to Gomel to prove a point or not go because wobbling's banned. Like, if they want to go and prove that ICs are still viable without wobbling, like you said, like Mewtwo King, you think Mewtwo King would still lose without wobbling. If Bananas beats Mewtwo King at Gomel, then that does prove something.
It proves that Mewtwo sucks against Ice Climbers, which I already knew. I knew that going in.
Oh my goodness.
You know?
I suppose.
So what's Blur's stance on a ban? Don't ban it because we need to consider the rule set. I think as long as I think here's my if you want to know what it is I am currently anti-ban as I've been for years because I just think it nerfs the character too hard. And that's where I'm at on it. I think as much as I dislike it in the majority of cases in many matchups, the matchups where it is a game changing are relevant enough that I think it affects the character's viability to too big of a degree for my discomfort to matter. And I also think that ICs lose all those other matchups too. Like, I think Fox beats ICs. I think Marth beats ICs. I think pretty much all these fucking characters beat ICs.
Yeah.
You know? The only matchups where it goes from ICs winning to ICs win less are like, what, Pikachu? Right? That's probably it. But not even much because, again, there's a down throw thing. Like, it's ICs win against Sheik, right? At least with common tournament results. They still win extremely hard against Sheik because of down throw chain grab, right? Like, it'd be one thing if we were working in a world where ICs like really strongly win matchups because of wobbling, but the truth is it's mostly their worst matchups get better and their best matchups become slightly barely more winning, but not really, because the few winning matchups they have, which is like Pikachu and Sheik,
I think they're still going to beat those characters.
They have a down throw chain grab, you know, like that's like pretty much 0 to death. So it doesn't really affect their winning matches very much.
I see. A lot of people disagree.
I think it's fine. Like, again, like I said, I'm not gonna even. I feel like I shouldn't waste brain cells on this. I should just get mad and then get over it.
I don't know. I think it's good that you got it all out. Because clearly you needed to tell someone.
I need to tell someone.
Yeah.
But I don't think the Smash community cares about having a consistent rule set. I think people love their experiments. I don't care for them because I think we already know what we need to know, and we're too far well developed as a meta to like fuck around with rule sets that much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But people will call me conservative when I say that, right? And so whatever, that's my opinion. But I'm not gonna like fucking enforce it really because I don't know. If it's not what the people want, it's not what the people want.
Yeah, I think majority of the people don't want it, or they like don't necessarily care about the consistent rule set. As long as it's not the consistent rule set, as long as it's not drastically changing Melee overall, which this isn't. Like, if you're not like
it
if you're
takes
not
one
adding,
character that's viable and moves them to unviable. But yeah,
no, they're not unviable after. They're still like I'm not kidding when I say Mewtwo King is the only one that might beat the only floaty that might beat Ices now. All the rest of them have.
I think it's gonna get his ass beat.
The rest of them have been. Duck has been shitting on Ices. La has been shitting on Ices. Puff players I don't even fucking know have been shitting on Ices. I think that's gonna stay the exact same. The only one that's gonna change for me is Mewtwo King.
Yeah, but now an up and coming ICs will have no chance against the laws of the world.
Good.
See, and I think that's what it comes down to, right? Is that there's just some people, there's a contingent of people in this world, and I disagree with these people profusely, who think Melee would be a better game if it was like Fox, Falco, Falcon, Marth, and some of those people add Sheikah. And I think they're fucking wrong. And I disagree, because I love Melee wholly. I think the whole thing is beautiful. I like the entire thing. I think Ice Climbers, on the whole, are a benefit to Melee, with or without wobbling. I like them more without it, because they're more entertaining that way. But I'm just that whole camp of people I disagree with on a very fundamental basis.
Yeah, I mean, like, because I've been on both sides. There's been days where I'm like, yeah, dude, maybe it'd be so sick if it was just like these few characters. And then other times it's just like, no, like, you know, like Samus is cool. Like, I'm glad she's in the game and all that stuff.
Samus is cool as shit.
Yeah,
Samus is dope. Like, I don't know. When people say things like that, I'm like, so what? All of Wobbles' career, all of Fly Benita's career, all of Chudat's career, like, these guys were fan favorite players. Like, those we should the Melee would be better if we just eliminated all of that. You guys want to eliminate Fly Benita? You callous pieces of shit. That guy was amazing. I loved Wobbles. You know?
Yeah.
I like those guys.
I don't know. There might be some bias here.
Yeah. I think there's definitely, like, there's just people who don't like those characters. And like I said, they don't like that this is the way they don't want Melee to be played in certain ways, and the reason why it would get banned is because they just don't like it. Which is a way to make rule sets. It's not how I like to make rule sets, but well, shit.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you just sit back and watch it unfold. You think it's gonna go to shit, like the way it's going, or do you think it's gonna come out stronger? Like Melee community's gonna come out stronger?
No, I mean, no. I think it's gonna go to shit.
Better. You think it's gonna go to shit?
I've literally seen this process like 10 times at this point. I think people are gonna split up. There's gonna be some TOs who are gonna say I'm gonna do it, and there's some TOs that aren't. I know for a fact that some TOs are very anti. Ban,
of course,
and there's some TOs that are very pro ban. Evo's never going to change from being anti-ban, and like, so yeah, we're just going to do it this way, I guess.
This guy said, if I respect Blur's opinion, ask him about the Fox Marth matchup.
What matchup?
The Fox Marth matchup.
What about it?
I don't know. Like, you think Marth wins? Yeah, no, you're fine.
Yeah, he does. It's fine.
All right, yeah, let's move on.
I said that before it was cool. I said that hella far back.
Yeah, no, I know.
Dude, I don't know, man. And you know what's... Again, people get so passionate and vile about this shit that's also not worth caring about, right?
Mm-hmm.
People get so vile. It's insane.
Yeah, dude, I've read some mean replies on Twitter. I spend more time than I like to admit reading some of this shit.
And that's my thing. I almost don't want to read about it because I'm like, dude, I've spent hundreds of hours of my life on this at this point.
Mm-hmm.
On the issue of wobbling, like, what do I need to know? Like, I already know my opinion, and my opinion is not going to fucking change things because each little regional warlord is going to do whatever their top player says.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, who cares?
What if Mr. Wizard wants to be a dick and he's like, oh, since the melee community doesn't want wobbling, they can't have melee.
No, he won't do that.
I wouldn't put it past him.
No, that guy is. He might say that's why he's doing it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like,
that guy's very predictable. He does things based on the growth of Evo and the revenue it generates, which is, by the way, the correct way to operate a business. TOs out there, that there's nothing wrong with him acting that way. You know, sometimes it goes too far sometimes, but you know. And so I don't think that will be a part of decision making almost at all.
I can't believe this all happened from a Twitter post or a Twitch clip or something like that. It's pretty funny though. Well, the thing is, like, Music King has been saying this for years.
Yeah, Music King's been bad against Ice Climbers for years too, and he tends to not like characters he loses to. He also hasn't liked Puff. He hasn't liked Falco. Fuck was wrong with Falco all those times? Nothing was wrong with Falco. He just didn't like Falco. He was losing to PP, and he was really mad about it.
I remember.
PP was a better player.
Bananas is our top player, and Texas is voting to ban that shit. Damn.
Well, there you go.
I think it's happening, Blur. I don't think you can stop it. I don't think you even want to stop it.
I don't even want to. I don't even want to.
I know you don't want.
Like, I don't care. Like, because I just think that people are gonna do what they do, and for me, I'd care more if I thought it mattered. Like, I think we're gonna lose some Ice Climbers players, and that sucks. And maybe there's gonna be some, if people's hypotheses are right about viewership, maybe that'll get helped. I doubt it. But for the most part, on the list of Smash's biggest weaknesses and things that we need to fix and what's gonna change, like, this isn't gonna change anything. This isn't gonna make Smash bigger. It's not even gonna make it much smaller, except for like the small percentage of Ice Climbers players we lose. But most of those guys are probably gonna stick around too. So, like, it's too small fry. It doesn't, like, matter enough for me to give a shit. And it's just infuriating too, because I'd have to walk uphill against people who have really staunchly held opinions that they'll be absolutely vile about.
I see.
Bong says, if you don't care, shut the fuck up. No, that's actually the opposite of it.
No, I think he's talking to someone else.
Oh.
No, he said banning wobbling only affects wobblers, and wobblers aren't human. If you don't care. Oh wait, no, maybe he was talking to you. I see.
Yeah, no. Here's what I mean is, if I cared, I would go out there and try to make a change about this. But I don't care enough to make a change.
No, you're just venting, which is fine.
I'm venting.
He's just venting. No one be mean to Blair about venting.
Yeah. I'm venting because I want my opinion out there, because a lot of people have a similar opinion to me where they're like, well, it does help my character. It does make me, I do not like wobbling, but I'm anti-ban, And those people are often the people who don't talk about this.
All right. I'm about to learn how to wobble.
Dude.
I would, like, is it hold forward and just press A over and over?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
You might, is there a combo counter or something in UCF?
I don't know.
There's training, yeah. That's the way to know if you're doing it or anything.
Oh, training mode?
I haven't tried wobbling in like 10 years.
I've never tried it.
Really?
No.
There you go.
I don't know, man. It looks like it's happening.
Yeah. It might be. It's also hard to tell. We've gone through a few sequences in our time where we get split for a while and then it doesn't happen. We get split for a while.
I don't know if this is real. No, that wasn't real. Like, I literally just don't know how. Dude, I cannot feel good about myself doing... No, my controller does not need that type of hate being pumped into it. That feels awful.
What?
I was just wobbling and that, like, I feel like a fucking idiot.
Yeah, you're pressing A, dude.
Oh my goodness. And people feel good about that? No, ban the character. Like, no one cares if Ice Climber players leave. That's terrible.
See? There you go.
That's terrible.
Come out and say it. You're saying ban the character.
Like, go play, like, a real fighting game. Wow. Why would you do this?
Melee's not a real fighting game.
Holy shit.
Actually, I don't like calling Melee fighting game either.
It's not. Go, dude, what the actual fuck?
Don't lump us in with those other guys. Man, Wobbly trash. I think it's such a bad mechanic. Sakurai should have done something else to make Ice Climbers better than this.
I think a rule set we can abide by is if you wobble, you have to be able to defend yourself IRL. How about that? How about that? You should have to protect your controller if you wobble. I think that's fair.
We take the Mike Hayes rule where he like yelled in people's ears whenever he got grabbed.
No, that doesn't do anything. I say if you wobble, you have to protect your controller. Everything else is fair game. Damn, dude, that's terrible. What? That's what wobbling feels like?
It's pretty bad, yeah.
Ew.
So, probably Lane says something along the lines of, ICs are better than what we're talking about. I disagree. I mean, that's just a subjective opinion about tier lists. I really don't think this character is very good. But
I think they can be better. Like I think they can figure shit out. I'm not trying to say like.
I think they can, and I think their matchups against a lot of the characters they already do well against are still decent. So yeah, I think there's a ton of depth to ICs that remain to be explored. And the truth is, like, ICs were like a fan favorite character without wobbling. You remember that era? And maybe that's the best. I think, arguably the best pro wobbling ban is how much we all loved like wobbles and fly, and like the Ice Climber players were like some of the most popular players when wobbling was banned because ICs are actually sick as fuck without wobble.
Yeah. I still think they're dumb.
It's just such a hilarious universe to live in where like they're like reviled players when with the ban they're like some of the people love Ice Climbers.
No. This is it? That's whack. I just can't imagine that. I don't care if it gets banned or not, but I can't imagine like my punish game. I wish I can do that with Fox. What the fuck?
How high do I think Armada would place if he was an Ice Climber player? I mean, depends on how hard he tried. Depends if wobbling's on. I don't know, bro. The hypothetical, I have no idea where to even begin to answer. But yeah, maybe those guys.
Dude, no. Keep wobbling unbanned. I might learn this shit.
There you go. Dude, it's a great way to beat Pikachu.
I spent like hours on my shitty punish game as it is, and like show very little improvement in it. Bro, I'm fucking sick at melee. I missed the downside. I might just learn how to wobble. All right, I've changed my mind. We should keep wobbling. Because I might learn
Marth IC's dual main just to beat Pikachu with Ice Climbers. That's the future.
Dude, Fox, I will be the first Fox IC's dual main.
What would you use ICs on?
I don't know. The Fox Ditto, Falco, Falcon, Sheik. I'm pretty decent at Sheik.
Don't do it against Falcon. Falcon's that's a toughie. Fox is better.
I don't know.
This is you two, Kid Samson. Yeah, like with wobbling for sure. There's I feel like it's surprising that more people haven't done it. But I guess ICs are just such a weird character that they don't like pick up IC secondary. Oh, anti-Sheik too. Yeah, you get anti-Sheik and anti-Pikachu as a Marth player. That's pretty nice. Yeah, Marth ICs is actually a fucking ridiculous combo.
Yeah,
And
no,
your
that sounds
FD,
fire.
your FD counter pick is literally like an auto win in like every matchup in the game. Because you have either ICs or Marth on FD.
Oh my god. That's it? I am never nodding my head after getting grabbed ever again. I'm just like, oh, you know, that was nice. You know, good shit. Now you have to execute this wobble. Fuck Ice Climber players. That's all you have to do? Are you serious?
Oh, TXA, that's very nice. Yeah, dude, it's really whack. And that's, I guess, that's also part of why it's hard to give too much of a shit. Cause it's like,
It is a bad mechanic. It is
whack.
It's a bad mechanic. Ice Climber players, Samus players, Puff players, regardless of your stance on banning it or not, it is a bad mechanic.
Yeah. I think another pro argument for pro ban is that it always just felt like guys like Wobbles and like Infinite Numbers apparently, they, after doing it for long enough, they didn't even like doing it. You know?
I don't know. I'm starting to understand like why people play ices. It's not like for free wins. It's really funny.
I think ices are actually sick as shit other than wobbling.
If I actually grab like a top, if I'm like an unranked ices and I grab like a top 100 Fox and I'm just wobbling them, I probably would think that's hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's why they're doing it. Maybe. I think there's definitely for me, the way I could see myself becoming a wobbler is I just like ice climbers, and ice climbers are cool in many respects, right? They're a fun puppet character. There's desync, a lot of cool shit, right? And then I get into the game and I figure out about wobbling, and I'm just like, well, I'm just not gonna not do this, right? Like it's too good not to do. And I think that's probably 90% of people who end up doing it. Is they do it because they like ice climbers, and ice climbers need it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. My opinion is constantly changing after learning how to wobble.
Yeah. Tuesday says that's 100% me. That's every ice climber player I've ever talked to pretty much says that, is that they just love ice climbers and they wobble because not doing that would be like just giving up free wins for no reason.
I just can't believe this is it. I need to get out of this mindset though. Like regardless, nothing that we just talked about is actually going to help me be better versus ICs. Nothing. If anything, it's going to make me worse.
I mean, I do think that like, I mean, are we in a good ICs era right now? I think this is actually one of the eras where we have less good ICs than ever before, which sounds ridiculous because we have 2 top 20 ones, but there were times where we had Fly, Wobbles, and Ten Dude, Numbers, Chew, there were times where like all those guys were at least decent. Like even a few years back, we had like a pretty good ICs era. Right now, I don't think Army plus Bananas is enough to really think that they're doing very well right now. So I think they're gonna do okay.
Yeah.
I think I mean, obviously they're gonna fall off a little bit. Army more than Bananas probably.
Why do you think that?
I think Army relies on Wobble more than Bananas does. Bananas just down smashes people.
Yeah, Bananas does that. I was watching Bananas play, and I was like, damn, he's not even wobbling. He's actually just like fucking C-sticking people,
Yeah,
hitting them,
down smash is pretty good.
reading their jumps and whatnot. Yeah, Bananas reads a lot.
He just up airs a lot, down smash a lot. He's pretty good. I like watching Bananas play. So I don't know. There's also the part of me like, okay, so here there's the pro ban part of me, and the pro ban part of me is the stuff we've just been saying, and also the part of me where I hate seeing players bullied in Smash for their character choices, and I know for a fact that we unban wobbling, and people are gonna start loving these players again. The people are gonna become big Bananas fans all of a sudden.
Really?
Because he's pretty fun to watch. I mean, he is.
Yeah. They will. He'll get new fans for like sticking with it.
Oh yeah, people are gonna be like he's that, and they know that, you know, that now he doesn't wobble, so it's like, oh shit, he's gonna have to do some cool stuff to win. You think, Matt? Do you think people hate ICs either way? When it was banned, people really like Ice Climber players. So I don't know, man. I think during our ban periods,
I wasn't around during the ban periods. I don't know.
They were pretty big fan favorites.
I came in at like Big House 2, and I saw like Fly Amanita SFAT. That's the only thing I can remember.
Yeah, and you remember people love Fly. Like it was, and people loved Chu too. Even people still love Chu. Like that never really changed, just because Chu's a weird guy and it's fun to love Chu. But yeah, like overall, people complain about ICs a lot with wobbling on, and when it's off, they almost don't at all.
Mm-hmm.
And that people will come out with more sick desync stuff because they're gonna have to compensate. That's true. Will it make a difference against Peach? No. They're gonna get their ass beat, and the match is gonna be impossible. But whatever. They lose to those guys with wobbling too, so it's tough. They need a second game.
I think it's happening.
It might be. It's very hard to tell. I think we're at a point where it's like 50-50. There's actually, it's like 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. It's 1/3. We just have a split community. And actually, no, that's guaranteed. Split community is happening. And then I think it's like 50-50 whether we go.
I don't think the split is 50-50 though. And I wouldn't even call it a split. It's like a 90-10 split if you call that a split.
I don't know about all that.
I think you're over exaggerating like the split that you think is going to happen.
You think it's going to be 90% of tournaments are going to ban wobbling from now on?
No. I thought you meant like community split.
Oh. I was talking about
tournament split.
Yeah.
It like again, it depends on like how like quote unquote well these tournaments do.
I don't think it's gonna. I don't know. I don't know.
Or like the praise that these tournaments get, you know.
Yeah. Look, almost gonna be a good event no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like if you can if you can pretty much guarantee Mewtwo King and Axe and pull up at your events because Wombling's banned, then yeah, it might get some more attraction. More events might ban it.
Tuesday, since you're a pretty good Ice Climber player, are you pro or anti-ban? I'm curious.
He's pro ban.
He's pro ban?
Yeah.
It's always fun to see Ice Climbers players that are pro ban. Because then you feel less bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's super pro ban. There we go. It's a very vocal minority that's anti-ban. I don't know about that. I think there are far more anti-ban people. I think most of them just are. I'm saying there's more anti-ban people than you guys think because I think they don't post on Reddit and they don't care. I think there's a lot of anti-ban people who are just literally are sick of talking about wobbling for 10 years straight. I think, in other words, more people like me.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's always the people who want to change the status quo who are more vocal. Almost always, right?
Right.
JJ and the Man says that's only me. No, Hugs was that person too. He didn't talk about it until Gomble did it. And why? He didn't talk about it because he didn't want to spend his life talking about something that may or may not even be a thing. Because who really cares what Tennessee does?
He talked about it with Tennessee.
He talked about it at that time?
Yeah. Again, it doesn't affect Floaty's end-game. It just affects, how their results are viewed. And again, I feel for Floaty players, because, no one gives a shit when they win anyway. It's just going to be, even worse now. Someone in my chat said, does banning wobbling nerf Peach? And I was like, what do you mean? And they're like, well, the Ices are probably gonna lose a lot more to the Fox than like this random Puff. So now Peach has to play.
That's a good way of putting it.
Peach has to play this Fox that advances or this Puff that advances.
That's a good point. It does nerf Peach because they won't play against ICs anymore because ICs just won't make it as far.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Well, this back air hitbox is kind of bad.
Most ICs hitboxes aren't that good. They don't stay out that long.
It's just the illusion that the hitbox is bigger because there's two of them. Oh. Yeah, their hitboxes. I think their forward air is pretty decent. It's pretty it's super disjointed. I don't know. Of course, floaties are anti-ban. Yeah, of course. That's what tilts me the most is listening to the floaty players talk about it.
I think again, like we were talking about, it tilts me that everyone is going down the line, saying their opinions, but then you read between the lines, you're like, wow, that's interesting how that falls in line with your self-interest as well. You know,
mm-hmm.
Oh, Mewtwo King is pro ban. That's shocking. You know, fucking shocking. Everyone's talking about how they got all these integrity and all these opinions that are strongly held, and yet you break it down in lines, and almost everyone it goes down to their own self-interest.
I see.
With the few exceptions like Tuesday, who are an Ice Climber player who would be nerfing himself, though sort of not also because I think it helps Ice Climber players be popular.
Yeah.
People will like them more. I bet Ice Climbers players are just tired of getting shit. You know?
Yeah, I just can't. I just went on Twitter and everyone's talking about it now. Duck, laughing. God, it's just happening, Blair. There's nothing to stop it. It's happening. It has too much momentum.
We decide everything on Twitter, dude. The court of public opinion.
Yeah. It has too much momentum. All we can do is just sit by and watch it. I should probably I wasted too much time on this. Talking about it because it changes absolutely nothing for me. It changes nothing to how I'm going to play against Ice Climbers. Nothing to my game. It doesn't make me better. Absolutely nothing.
It just means you probably will play against Ice Climbers less because they won't go as far. That's probably it.
I don't even. Maybe. I didn't think about that.
Somehow this whole Puff ban thing got mixed into all this too.
I think that had to have been a meme.
Here's the thing, is that a lot of people, at least the way social media works, is that one person has an idea and then 1,000 people argue that person down.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts to feel like a conversation when it never really was. Because it was just one dude writing on the internet.
Yeah. But no, dude, Okami, I still don't even want to believe that's Okami, but I cannot believe he seriously proposed ban crouch rest. No, hear me out. I don't like Puff, but I think she's okay. I think it is completely fair that Marth and Fox can grab Puff and that Sheik and Falcon cannot. Because you look at the difficulty of what Marth and Fox have to do after they grab Puff and compare it to the difficulty of what Falcon and Sheik have to do if they actually grab Puff. And it's so much easier. And also, Sheik and Falcon can't get up there arrested. There's a trade-off. I think that's a completely fair mechanic that Puff can crouch under those grabs.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
But
I think Sheik loses a lot. Sheik loses to Puff pretty bad in my opinion.
I disagree.
Maybe doesn't. It's one of those things where, on a theory level, I could totally see Sheik doing way better than the results are doing. But the results have been so bad for so long that it's.
Well, when you say bad, you're saying just win or lose, because Swedish has been close, but yeah, he's lost.
That's true, and HBox is just a lot better than those Sheiks.
Yeah, HBox is also better. I think that's something that a lot of people are forgetting.
Yeah. So maybe you're right. Maybe that matchup isn't that bad.
Yeah, no, I think it's not. I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah. Whereas, like for example, IC Sheik. Usually, it's the lower level ICs who beats the higher level Sheik.
Mm-hmm.
So that matchup, the results do tend to indicate that it doesn't. Our theory, because there's a lot of people who theoretically think Sheik beats ICs, and that's literally it's the most losing matchup in Melee, even more than like Peach ICs, like by results. Like it's just Sheiks never win.
Yeah, I think Puff is fine for now. Like I've heard like Leffen's theories of what Puff can become and if HBox does this and that. Yeah. But like right now, Puff is fine. At least I think so.
Puff is fine. I mean, I guess it's hard, right?
I also don't play against HBox every tournament.
That's true.
So like I try and weigh that in as well. Because it's like now I'm becoming like some random shitter saying, oh, Wobbling isn't even that bad. Oh, but I play Puff. It's like me saying like, yeah, Puff isn't that bad, but I also don't play against HBox like ever.
Yeah.
For my entire career.
HBox is really fucking good.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I get it. It's very frustrating, especially for these guys who switch characters to play against HBox because they felt like Armada, right? He was a Peach player and he pretty much has to switch off to just for HBox. But then again, like it's hard for me to have sympathy because I think part of the reason why they hate playing against HBox is because they switch off to Fox, and the only thing Fox, like the best thing Fox has in that matchup is like lasers.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, I understand Puff can be boring to play against, but you picked the character which has, like, factually a campy, boring strategy to beat this character, right?
Mm-hmm.
At least like Falco and Marth, for example, like can do stuff to a more of a degree, you know?
Yeah.
Fox has no range. He can't fuck with Puff's back air like at all. He has a laser, bring her in, and yeah, sure he wins the matchup, but at least I think he does. It's close. Every day I think it's closer. But they definitely picked the most boring matchup to play.
Yeah.
So it's like they call Puff boring. I'm like, but yeah, you picked Puff's most boring matchup in my opinion. You know, the one matchup is just like if you don't laser all game, you're gonna get rocked.
Yeah.
So, like, if they want to be entertained and beat Puff, pick Marth. Like, that match was fun as fuck. I love that matchup. I'm entertained the whole time.
That matchup looks cool.
You get to swing your sword. It's great. It's a lot of fun.
Oh God. Well, it's happening. Not much we can do. Not much I want to do. I could care less. I do want the discussion to be like over.
Yeah, it won't be. This will last a year.
A year? Yeah, probably.
This is just going to be a thing.
Oh well. So. I guess we can call it here.
Yeah, I got a meeting at 1:30 anyway. But
I appreciate the rant. I think my chat, regardless of how they felt about it, was entertaining. Hope you guys appreciate it.
I love your chat. You run a good stream, Kalendi. And I know there's some people out there with strong opinions about this who will say Blur's stupid. But I want to let you guys know that I still love you anyway.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
I'll probably upload it to YouTube. All right, yeah, see ya.
Yeah, see you, man. Peace. Bye.